We will get started. I'm just going to give the room just a minute to build, and we will get into part two of Interwoven Saturday. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Welcome in. I know y'all are blown away because it is 7:00 and I am where I'm supposed to be. Yes, I am. Hey, Four Ducks, this morning was a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a sip and cuss, a little bit of a follow up to my post on yesterday. So I felt like I needed to get back on and do something a little bit more show and tell ish. Hey, Regina. Hello, Mo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies, if you would go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Hello, Rosalind. Thanks, Four Ducks. I appreciate that. I guess there are some things. Hello, Diane Brody. Hello, says what? Um, Four Ducks. I guess there are just some things that are easier for me to let go than others, and that was a topic I just couldn't let go. So I decided to use my platform. Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Kimberly. Regina, I believe that they did. Now, for those of you that may not be aware, hi Lucinda, there was an earlier Tribe Time, a morning edition at 11 Central. If you have not watched that, as soon as this live stream is over, I would encourage you not only to go back and watch that one, but more importantly, to start with the video that I posted on Friday. It's a very short video, and go from Friday to the morning Interwoven Saturday live, and then you will, kind of be all caught up on what started that, particularly if you were paying any attention to the comments. I would encourage you to, if it's a topic that you're interested in, whether it's on my channel or any of the other channels that you subscribe to, is to use the comments and engage. There are people that are responding. You actually get alerts on YouTube if you have that feature turned on, so that you actually know when someone has liked your comment or if they have responded to your comment. So it is an amazing way to keep the interaction going, even when there isn't a live stream going on. So if you're not familiar with that, then by all means turn the alerts on if you choose. But go through and Vader, and take a look at those. Hi, Ems. All right, so if you would go ahead, hit the thumbs up. I am going to get ready to jump in, but I want to use Menti one more time. I think it kind of worked this morning. I got good feedback, or favorable. Of course, my neighbor decides to cut their grass down. But I got favorable feedback from using it during the morning live. So we're going to go back to menti.com, and I am going to give you the code for the one that we have this evening. So we're going back to menti.com, 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 and the question that I will pose to you before I give you the code is whether or not you have Saffiano leather in your collection. And I just want to know, is that statement true or false? I have Saffiano leather in my collection. So you're going to go to menti, menti.com, and the code for this particular set of questions is 276075. 276075. 276075 That is the code 276075. Sus, thank you so much for posting it in the chat. Do you have Saffiano leather in your collection? That is the question for the evening. Got 5 people so far that have responded. We'll wait while the rest of you are getting the code and getting to the site. I apologize to my Apple users. It's a little bit more difficult because you have to kind of swap back and forth between screens, where if you're on an Android device, you have a little bit more multi-function capabilities on your device. So it's Menti, MENTI.com, and the code is 276075. And it looks like 100% of those that have participated actually say that you have Saffiano leather in your collection. Well, we actually have somebody now that doesn't. All right. The question again, I have Saffiano leather in my collection, true or false? And you're going to Menti, MENTI.com, and you're casting your vote there with the code 276075. All right. So the majority of us have Saffiano in our collections. At least 91% of you that are in the chat this evening say that you have, well, 92 people are still voting. 92% say that they have, 93, it's continuing to go up. 93% say that you have Saffiano in your collection, and 7% of you say that you do not have any Saffiano in your collection. All right. So the next question that I have is also about Saffiano, and that is, go back. All right, so the next question that I have, and it should be available to you now, is, in your own words, describe Saffiano leather, or tell us what you like or dislike about Saffiano. And you just type in what you like, and I've got, it's rugged or rigid. Come on, switch, rotate. It's durable. Same code, Menti.com 276075. I got another person saying that it's durable. I like it. It's basically indestructible. The rough texture says, I hate the feel and sound when I scratch my nails against it, so that's somebody that maybe doesn't care for it. It is for rare occasions when I want a look of a structured and polished bag. It's rugged, durable, it's nice, it's smooth. I like the saturated colors. Somebody says it's too shiny. It can appear to be plastic, but carefree and easy to clean. Like that it's all weather. Dislike that it looks plastic. Doesn't stain. It's rainproof. Not as smooth as Florentine, but polished and nice. Someone else again saying that it's durable, that it's carefree. So all, pluses and minuses depending on your collection. So for me, I would agree with most, right? Based on my perception of Saffiano leather, I agree with most. And I will also agree that the look of Saffiano, it took me a little bit to get into it, because y'all know how I feel about shiny bags. That was a hang up for me in my collection. I had to kind of work my way through that. But I would also offer that Saffiano leather is slightly structured. The leather does get a little bit softer, but it's never going to puddle. It's never going to melt, so it holds some of that great structure. It is scratch resistant, so you don't have to worry about it being temperamental the way our Florentine leather and our Alto leather is. It is also spot resistant, right? So you don't have to worry about if something gets on it, like, it just doesn't it doesn't absorb liquids the way that some of the other leathers do, specifically Florentine. So Saffiano is described as a coated European leather that has a subtle texture to it, and it offers refined structure that is directly from Dooney. And what Dooney has done for the last few summers is, in my opinion, right? Let's get the conversation going in the chat. The conversation what I wanted to say is that Camden Woven, like previously released woven collections from Dooney, is similar in the leather to Saffiano. I didn't say it was exact. I didn't say it was a duplicate. I'm just saying that it has some of those same properties that Saffiano leather has, but of course in the woven it offers a lot more detail. The problem that I have with Dooney's woven collection is that every time it releases the collection, the actual woven pattern is different. I prefer the smaller or medium to smaller woven design, as opposed to the oversized pattern that Dooney has done in the past. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous if you've seen it in person. I think it is. It's either I think it's Classic MG that has a large Dawson in Timoro Brown, I believe it is, and it is in the larger Dooney woven pattern. It is absolutely gorgeous. I prefer the smaller crosshatch in the detail, but it doesn't keep me from appreciating the pattern, the leather in itself. All right. Now, that being said, last summer, Dooney released a woven collection, and it was mixed woven with smooth beacon leather. And I didn't care for it. It looked like a picnic basket with a solid colored napkin draped over it. It just was not appealing to me at all. But this year, it was a combination of not only the smaller woven design, but also the offering of the woven in my favorite, or one of my favorite bag silhouettes, which is a tote. The fact that the bag had a great shoulder drop, a zip top, it had feet, an outside pocket, and it also had a big butt. So we're gonna dive into that, and I have dug out a few bags for comparison purposes. But before we dive into Camden, what I'd like to do is show you another woven piece that I have in my collection that was just here. Oh, it's here. That has been well loved in my collection, despite the fact that it has the center zip. But I want to lead with this one so that you kind of get some historical reference of the evolution of Dooney's woven, and so that you can kind of see how the woven leather wears, if that's, is that accurate? Yeah. See kind of how it wears, and then we're going to compare it to some other bags that I have. All right. So the first one is the Dover Tote, and this one is in the color Bordeaux. It's stuffed, but you can tell that the leather does soften quite a bit. You can kind of tell where it's been well loved. Got some wear on my edges because I lived in this bag. Even it had a great shoulder drop, feet, and a big butt, and it is amazing. Now, when this is under lights, let me make sure I got the strap out of the way. It's always difficult for me, particularly when I'm looking at woven patterns on like QVC or HSN or the little videos or pictures on Dooney or ILD. It always, the lights play really hard, I think, or really harsh against the pattern, and I don't know that mine are gonna, lights are gonna do any better, but I wanted you to really be able to kind of see what it looks like. Now, I know that Dooney releases this during, usually it's during the summer, but I carried my woven bag year round because it looks more like bag texture, like the cross hatching in Saffiano leather, but again, more detail, a bit more bold, than it does a picnic basket. But the one from last year literally to me looked like it was a picnic basket that had a napkin draped over it with its solid color, smooth beacon on the top. And I just could not get with it. And I know that there were a lot of those bags that were seen, found, purchased at the Marshalls and TJ Maxx's of the world, but I don't care how much I looked at that bag, and knowing how much I enjoyed this one, I just couldn't pull the trigger. For me, I need color to my woven patterns. I don't want it to look like it's a straw bag. And I know that that's, you know, the intent behind woven is to give you the look of like the straw bags that you might find at the straw market in Charleston or in the Bahamas. But if I wanted that, I would just go buy that. So I like that this is not going to pull at my clothes. I love the fact that just like Saffiano, it's going to soften just a little bit, but it's going to really maintain its structure. The color saturation is going to be really high. You don't have to baby it. And it gives this textured, I think somebody put in the chat, stamped leather look to the bag. And it's not as shiny. I mean, it looks really shiny on camera because I've got 3 lights right here to make sure that, you know, you're not catching shadows. But it is really not that shiny in person. And just like anything else, as it wears, it's going to develop a little bit more of maybe a little bit more matte, but it's still going to keep all of that great detail. I mean, just look, and I know my nails are a hot mess. I need to cut them off and start over, and I'm going to do that. But and it's I'm trying to find. All right, so let me see if I can get an angle where you can actually. So it is not only detail here and here, but once you're up close, it has the similar detailing on each one of these squares as the texture in Saffiano leather. So it's not the complete crosshatch, but they are going in the same direction. It's just a lot of detail in this. And you might actually be able to see it a little bit better further away. I don't know if it's going to catch it. Oh, I hate that it's not. All right, I'm just going to let you take this in for a bit, for a minute. I'm going to just kind of, okay, I think you can see it now. If you look in the corner closest to the strap on the side of the bag that says Dooney, right under the strap, you can see a little bit of the detailing in those pieces. That is not the light playing. That is exactly the detail that every single square on this bag has. Can you see that? So on this side of the bag, right in this area, can you see that detailing? That is not the light. That is the actual texture of every. It is absolutely gorgeous in person. And I know there have been concerns about whether or not it's rough, is it structured, is it gonna soften, is it gonna, all of these things. But if you have Saffiano in your collection, I would challenge your thinking that this is Saffiano leather with a bolder pattern to it. All right? All right. So, I don't know that I am getting hold on. All right. So, I purchased a bag, and I'm absolutely so excited to show it to you, because other than like QVC, I have not been able to find any other reviews of this bag that I can think of off the top of my head. So if you would go ahead and hit the thumbs up if you were hanging out, and let's just take a look at this one. Here she is. This is the Camden woven large tote. She has an amazing shoulder drop. She has a zipper top closure, feet, a big butt, and an outside pocket. She is so big, I'm not even sure how they got her in this bag, but she's in here. Let me see if I can get her out. Hey. Y'all, this is absolutely gorgeous. Do you see this? Now, for those of you that have ever done those puzzles, like where the image shifts, like the one where you look at it and you say, do you see an old woman or young woman? And depending on your perception or the angle, it varies on what you see. I like this because if you really want to see a woven basket, you can. You can. But it also gives amazing highs and lows and textures, so that if you want to carry this bag any time of the year, you can, and it won't look like you're carrying, as my mama would say, your summer bag, right? It's not going to look like you're carrying your straw bag, at least in this red color that can go year round. So this bag is a big bag, all right? And for the purposes of my channel, when we talk about a big bag, we're talking about a bag that is over 12 3/4 inches in length, and that has a butt of 5 inches or greater. For my channel, if it is less than 13 inches, it is considered a small bag. And if the butt of the bag, the base, the depth is less than 5, for the purposes here on my channel, I consider it a small bag. But this bag is 12 inches tall. It is 14 inches in length, and we're not measuring the top because I don't understand why the industry measures the top of the bag when you put your stuff in from the bottom up, not from the top down. But it is 14 inches in length, 12 inches in height, and 8 inches in depth. Look at that smooth. Woo. Outside pocket, and it is a generous pocket. It really is. I understand why they didn't do it a little bit longer, trying to keep it, you know, symmetrical and all. It could have been a little bit bigger, but the fact is it has an outside pocket that I'm going to easily be able to put 2 cell phones in with no problem. You would also be able to get a small tablet, like a small iPad in it as well. You've got your hardware, double straps. I know for some of you, these straps are probably going to be an issue. These straps don't bother me. When I store straps like this, I typically will actually let them hang over, and when I put them in the bag, I'll put like some storage paper underneath so that they don't completely flop. But I'm okay if they do, because when I get ready to pick them up, I just grab and they stand up. So I know everybody kind of has their pet peeves about bags. I am the same way, but that's not a deal breaker for me. I know that there are some folks that prefer the pocket to be on the back, but I actually think that I like it on the front. I could live with it on the back, but in this particular case, the fact that I'm going to be using it for my phone, it makes sense for it to be on the front of the bag so that I can just reach into it without having to take my bag off in order to get into the pocket. This bag has a little bit more weight to it than the Dover, and here's why. The Dover is all woven, so it's basically lightweight like Saffiano. Because this one has a little bit of, I don't know whether this is beacon trim or just smooth. It's not smooth leather like McKinsey. It's not smooth leather like City. It's more smooth leather like Beacon, like Toscana, like Alto. It's that kind of leather on the straps and on the base. So that leather is a little bit thicker, a little bit more substantial, has a little bit more weight. So it does have a little bit of weight to it, but it is not anything like Florentine. Little bit heavier than Saffiano, just a smidgen, just because it does have a little bit of heavier leather on its base and on the strap, and because this is a larger bag. They do have a smaller version of this bag. So if 14 inches long is too big for you, then take a look at the dimensions on the small one. What I will say is that if you are like a GM never full size bag carrier, if you are into some of the large, like the large size of market tote from Coach, if you are a large leisure carrier, then the large size of Camden is definitely what you want to take a look at. If you are more small size market tote, small size Charleston or small leisure, if you are a small like the, what is it, the PM size for the Neverfull, then go with the smaller. Go with the smaller version of the bag. But oh, I love it. All right, let me let you get a look. You can tell that the cross hatching in this is much smaller and much different from the Dover tote. And I am going to give you some side-by-side shots just so that you can see the difference in the cross hatching. But that's one of the things that is driving me crazy with Dooney is it for like the last 4 or 5 times that they've released woven, it has been different. And I'm not saying at all that it has to be the same woven pattern, but there should be some consistency. Like if you're gonna do big, commit to what the big size is gonna look like and then vary that. And then if you're gonna do a medium or textured one versus a smaller one, like pick a camp and live in it. But I just feel like there's been a lot of variance in it. Maybe that's just my perception because I fell in love with that one and I've really been waiting for another woven collection to release that I liked as much as this one, the Dover one in Bordeaux. But I am loving this, whether it is travel, a work bag, an overnight bag, a baby bag. If you are, one of those folks that carry everything, or maybe you carry very little, but you like the look of a larger bag, or you add stuff in your bag throughout the course of the day, right? You leave in the morning and you got your lunch bag, but it's a smaller one coming home. Whatever the thing is, this bag is so much prettier in person than anything that I have seen online. Now, y'all know I have been hard. I have been hard as hell on Ashley Bellman on QVC. And I can honestly say that until this bag, Ashley Bellman has convinced me to buy nothing from the QVC presentations. I always wait for Sue Clifton, or I wait for, other YouTube content creators to post their videos, and, I kind of fast forward or watch her muted. But Ashley Bellman sold me on this bag. I was looking at it online on Dooney's website. I went to QVC, and the best presentation of this bag and all of its features and the comparable bags in the marketplace, Ashley did that presentation. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I will say I'm not 100% an Ashley fan, but for this presentation, I could definitely see where her skill as a brand rep has improved. I can't say that about all of them, but for this one, the presentation, the lights, the description, the demo, all in. I know, I've been hard on her. Hey, people grow, they change, they develop, and for this particular one, she did. I did go watch some of the ones that Sue was in. I did. But the one that I kept going back to from a reference standpoint was the one that Ashley did. Maybe it's because, I don't know. But here she is. All right, let's take a look at her. Y'all, if I can get whatever this red is, well, I guess I have this red in Alto. This is absolutely amazing. It'll probably look a hot mess before it's all over, but I'll be the person to put all the scratches in it. All right. There's the front, zipper, pull, hardware, double strap, deep butt, zipper top, and the inside. This is one of the things that I am not liking. I feel that it is a cost cutting. There's my dust cover. They also sent a white dust cover. with this purchase. I absolutely detest this line. I don't care what bag it's in. I will be glad when this phase is over at Dooney because this is so thin. It is not substantial at all. It feels extremely lightweight. I am just not a fan. For those of you that maybe remember when I did my Floto leather weekender bag review, and it had that lightweight, not light in color, lightweight lining in it. This reminds me of that. And I didn't like the lining in the Floto, and I don't like the lining in this either. Not to mention, I got a feeling this, if you don't use a bag organizer, if you are a person that keeps things loose in your bag, if you're a person that every once in a while has a straight lipstick cap and you got just a roaming loose lipstick, or maybe you're the person that drops like, I don't know, a pack of cookies in your bag when you're traveling or something like that, the inside of these bags are going to look a hot mess. So all I will say is for resellers or for folks that purchase on the resale market, if you are purchasing any bag, let me say that again, any bag, I don't care what collection it comes out of with Dooney, but if it has this lining in it, you want to make sure that you are asking that seller for very, very detailed pictures of the lining, because I promise you somebody's going to get a nasty, it's just going to be nasty. It's light colored, it's thin, and it just is not going to take the kind of wear that the thicker textile lining is going to take, or any of the other linings. So just be careful if you're going to hold out, maybe buy it secondary or let the price of it go down. I would just say make sure that you are getting good pictures of the inside, because the outside is basically Saffiano leather, so the bag's going to look amazing on the outside, but the inside is going to be a different story. I would also say, based on the wear on my Bordeaux one, you want to make sure that you get some good pictures of the edges and the corners, because just like any other bag, that is where you will find wear on these bags. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but this one, it's already like getting, it's gonna be so good. It's big enough for you to put a purse organizer in there, but you don't have to. But it has a big mouth opening, double straps, an amazing shoulder drop. Let's listen. This is my hope. My hope is that this bag will be remade in Florentine leather, that it will be remade in city leather, that it will be made in true Saffiano, and that they will make 9,000 colors of it like they have that doggone Lexington. Because if you are a tote girl, and a big tote girl like Greta, leisure, shopper, large size, you will absolutely love the size of this bag. I can't help you with the look of it. That's just something that I think you got to study for yourself, and to figure out how diverse you want your collection to be. I truly feel like this is a collector's piece, because they don't do woven the same every year, and they don't do it every summer. But this is a bag that you will not have to baby, other than this lining. All right, so huge. Let me see it. Huge zipper pocket on the back. Y'all see how? Look, have you ever? Maybe I shouldn't say it as have you ever. I don't have this kind of fold creasing issue with the red textile lining that Dooney mostly uses. I know there are a lot of people who don't like the red. Some of you are sick of it. Red's my favorite color. Me and Peter will forever see eye to eye as long as he does a red lining or a bright lining. But this isn't it. The thickness of this lining is so not. It takes away from the bag. And I know it's the inside, but that's the part that I get to enjoy. It's just not. Huge pocket, and then you can see that there is like little to no structure to this fabric because the pocket has already got a crease in it. And it does have the key keeper. And then on the opposite wall, oh, it's so big. It has two slip pockets, and you can even see here there it's collared in the Camden leather, but this is. I wish I had nail polish on because y'all could see the color of my polish through this lining. Not impressed with the lining, but everything else they nailed with this bag. Nailed it. 14 inches long, 14 across the bottom, 12 inches in height, and an 8-inch butt. Let me give you a side-by-side just so that you can see the difference between the two woven patterns. They are nothing alike. Just so you can kind of see a couple different angles, see the size of the woven pattern, wear new, fresh out the package. Size comparison to Dover, because I know Dover was very, very popular during her release. Let's take a look. Straps are different because these are adjustable on Dover. This one does not. Right, Diva, it does, and that's what I like about it, is because it's textured to me instead of, hey sus, we can talk about that. We surely can. That, because it doesn't look like woven, it doesn't look summertime to me, meaning you'll be able to use it year round. And one of the QVC hosts perfectly described this color, because this color is called strawberry. So if you what she said is, if you think about biting a strawberry, like you see the actual red on the outside, and then once you actually bite it, there are lighter places, lighter colored pieces once you bite into it. That is actually the dimension that you're getting in these pieces, in the little cross hatching. It's like biting into a strawberry with the light and the dark. I love this. I love this. This is a bag that at one point I had 5 colors in my cart. I had the strawberry, the putty, the chocolate, the black, and the midnight. The only color that didn't catch my attention was, I think it's called Camel or Natural. And just for me, it looked more like a summer bag. It looked more like a straw bag. And I wanted something that was gonna, one, give me the color saturation, because this leather, this texture takes color like Saffiano leather, and I knew that the color would be vibrant and it would be rich, and I just decided that I wanted to do something a little more bold in color. Just that's all. But I did buy more than one. But we're not going there today. But I just, yeah. All right. So here we go. Here's the Dover difference. So for those of you that have Dover, you can kind of see it's a slight difference in a length. And let me see if they are. The Camden also has Dover beat in depth as well by an inch, by at least an inch, if not an inch and a half. Definitely longer. No outside pocket, no top closure. Well, it has a turn lock closure, zipper top closure. So there's that one. The next one that I would compare it to is another one that I have used a lot. I know y'all, some of you are like, oh my God, black. Yes, I have black bags. Matter of fact, I just bought a new black bag. I'll show it to you at some point. I do have some, and this one was used every day for probably a year and a half. I actually used it as my work bag, so it fit my laptop and everything else that I needed for work in there. Good shoulder drop. It is in the retro, and it is a medium Russell. She didn't ever get her grass fed on Saturdays. Anyway, feet on the bottom, reinforced, y'all. My work bag stayed full. This bag kept its structure. It traveled by car, by plane, by automobile, by taxi. I don't think I ever had it on a boat. But planes, trains, automobiles, it absolutely did. It does have an outside pocket, but this pocket is on the back, whereas Camden has its pocket on the front. Much better shoulder drop here. This one, it just, Russell just needs just like a half inch to an inch longer shoulder drop, and it would, like, I'll just say it, LV would have a run for its money, because nothing compares to Dooney's leather. Even on a bad day when I'm fussing and complaining about the way they pack boxes, there is just no comparison to Dooney's leather. If I'm wrong, tell me who in the market has leather that rivals Florentine or Alto. I'm just saying. But shorter drop, zip top closure, back pocket, double strap, great shoulder drop, front pocket. Let's look at the dimensions. Let me see if I can get them lined up for you. I don't know. Are those close? I think Russell might be, you know what? Let's see. Hold on. I am at least semi-prepared today. And that's way too long. All right. So, Russell is 14 and a half. Camden is 14. So, it is a half-inch difference. The butt on Camden is 8. The butt on Russell is about 7. Yep, 7. And so 8 on Camden, 7 on Miss Russell. And then for height, they are both 12 inches in height. So that is the comparison. All right, another comparison. Y'all know me and Leisure, even in the Timoro Brown, we have had, we were inseparable for a while. So, I know a lot of you have this one. If you have the large one in the Leisure and you like it and enjoy it, then I would recommend the large version in Camden. If you are a small Leisure carrier, then definitely look at the smaller version of Camden, keeping in mind that that one is still likely going to be too large for you. Check the dimensions. All right, so let's take a look at these two side by side. I've got a stray keeper. It doesn't want to stay in the inside, so let me zip it. All right, so here we go, the front of both bags. Side profile of both bags. And the butts, let's see. It is not easy working in a confined space with these big bags. Let's see. All right. The large Leisure has a butt of 7 1/4. Is that right? It's kind of puckering on me. Hold on. Because it's not stuffed. Actually, it's about 6 1/2. In the depth, the length is 14, so it's the same length as the large Camden. And height, Camden is 12. And the Leisure is about 11 1/4. Strap drop on both of these are amazing. Strap drop on Camden is a little bit longer. Here's the difference though between the straps. The Leisure straps are actually threaded through the bag. So if you want to actually be able to maneuver these a little bit more, you can, right? They've got a little bit more give to them. They are not adjustable, but they do lay a little bit better. I don't know. I love these straps. That's all I can say about it. I love them. They are no fuss for me. These are going to flop, and there is no hardware. There's no die cut or anything for them to be threaded through. So if that is something that drives you crazy about a bag, then the Camden is not going to work for you. All right. The next bag from a comparison standpoint is, let me get back to my list. All right. I don't know how it got way back over here, but let me grab it. It is this. My central zip tote from Coach. This feels like a feather. A feather compared to this. This is definitely a more substantial bag, a more substantial piece of leather. This is lightweight, will also accommodate a bag organizer, no outside pocket. Very, very limited organization on the inside to the tune of one snap pocket. I don't particularly care for the lining of this bag either because it's dark. I do like the leather, but it's dark, so I'm not a fan of that. The straps, though, are similar. The straps are going to flop just like this one. The straps are going to flop. Size difference, let me tell you, they are not even, this one is comparable to the Saffiano Leisure, which you know I love, but let's take a look at the dimensions again. So Camden is 14 long, and the Coach Central Tote is 14, so they're the same in length. Why does that look so much bigger? The height on the Coach bag is 10 and a half, whereas Camden is 12, so Camden is definitely taller than the Coach zip. And then the butt of the bag is come on. It's right at 6, where Camden is 8. All right. So, side by side. Please make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I would kindly ask that you do so and hit the bell so that anytime I go live or do an upload, you do not miss out on all of the fun and intense conversations that we have over here. All right. No outside pocket. Much, much lighter weight. All right. The next bag for comparison is the double strap tassel bag, and this is the color terracotta. It has the straps like the Greta Leisure, but it does not have a zip top closure, and it also does not have an outside pocket. Did I already say that? It does not have an outside pocket, and it does not zip. Lengthwise, it is 14. Is that right? 14, I guess so. Yeah. 14 by 11. And the butt is about 5 1/4. Strawberry terracotta, Saffiano leather. So I'm going to give you hopefully a close enough view so that maybe you can see some of the characteristics of Saffiano in the Camden. So let's see what that, I think I got that. And let's see here if we can get a bottom view. I don't know that they're in frame. Let's see. I can do a little bit better job. I don't know. I can't see. There we go. All right. So if you like the double strap tassel, but maybe the straps are going to drive you crazy on the Camden, if you prefer the Saffiano subtle detailing versus the crosshatch or the woven style, then maybe Saffiano or maybe the double strap tassel is the way to go. I do have a Florentine Russell, but I don't know. Do y'all need to see a Florentine Russell in comparison? I pulled an MCM for comparison, and I also pulled a Florentine Russell. If anybody, let's see. Let me just see in the comments if you want to see those. If not, we're at an hour mark, and I'm willing to cut it off. Let's see. Alright. Alright, well, to make it worth my while, since I dug them out, I'm going to just show them. Alright, so steel blue Russell. Florentine leather. Oh, this is so soft, it's squishy. Shoulder drop on this one just does not compare. They both have the outside pocket. Shoulder drop, definitely better here. Outside pocket. Let's take a look at I wish they would do this in Florentine. If they do this bag in smooth Florentine, I don't know if there would continue to be a home in my collection for Russell. And Russell and I have a long history, but if I could get it with a better shoulder drop and a zipper, I don't even know that there would be a decision that would have to be made. It would just be a done deal. And then the last one from a comparison standpoint is my MCM Tote, which I also loved and lived in. It has an outside pocket, great shoulder drop. It has a zipper top closure, Napa leather, so it is lightweight, but it does not have feet under the bottom. And the outside pocket is a bit smaller than the pocket on Russell and the pocket on Camden. It's stuffed and soft and squishy. This actually feels like my steel blue Florentine that I just showed you, because it's, even though this is Napa leather and it's a bit softer, that's what my Russell feels like. So let's take a look at this last comparison here. Let's see. That out of the way. It has the same kind of straps as the Coach Tote and the Camden. They're just gonna flop around. Front pocket, front pocket. Let's take a look at the depth. And let's take a look the length. All right, the MCM is not that long. It is right at 14 and a half long. It has about a 6 1/4 butt, and height, it is 11. So it's closer to the leisure size than, yeah, closer to leisure than Camden, but still a really, really, really nice size bag. So I'm going to take a look at the comments and see if there are any questions that I can answer. And then I feel like I've missed a lot of people in the chat, so I need to say some hellos. Like to M's, to Becky in Texas, to Mono's Beauty, Diva 9000, Rosalind, Kimberly. Hello, hello, hello to B Star Vibe, Pray On, Living Little Kim Life, Justy, welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. Who else do we have in here? Rosalind Parnell Wright, welcome. Glad you could join. Bag Crazy, Regina, Vader, Suz, The Curly View, welcome. Glad to have you. Who else do we have in the chat tonight? Let's see. Ingrid Scott. Did I already say hi to you, Mo? Hi, Mo. Hi, Lucinda. I feel like I'm repeating names. Fancy Girl She, welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. Who else? Is it Jeanne Noseworthy or Norsworthy? I think I'm saying that right. Hello, Four Ducks. Who else? I'm Purse Happy too. Welcome. Glad to have you, Diane Brody. Penny Berry, hello. Glad to see you back. And Kimberly Mines, I think I'm at the list. Nope. Janet Myers, welcome, welcome, welcome. I agree. I like when Sue's on as well. I'm reading her comment. Who else am I missing? Mrs. Q, Ange loves Dooney. Hey, Ange. That's my girl. Who else? Rosalind Ellis, Belinda, welcome. Glad to have you in the chat and participating. Who else do we have? I think Lucinda, I already said hello. I think I've gotten everybody. Diva 9000, Becky in Texas, Miss Angie, welcome. Glad to have you. Carmen Hawkins. Hello. I think that's everyone, but now I'm gonna go back through Phenomenal Personality. Hello. Y'all have been busy in the chat. All right, so I'm gonna scroll back through really quick and see questions. I remember, I think it was Vader that asked the question about the weight of the bags. I would say heaviest is still gonna be the Florentine, Russell, and then probably, yep, the retro. So because this is just thick leather. And then next in weight, yeah, next in weight as far as heaviest is going to be here. Then here, getting a little bit lighter every time. Then here. Then here. And here. This is just, there is no comparison to this and any of the other leathers. By any other brand, there just is not a comparison. I've enjoyed carrying that bag. Y'all know I had to force myself to move out of it. I absolutely love it, but there is no comparison between that Coach leather and the other leathers that you have seen here tonight by any brand, any size. There just isn't a comparison. I'm sorry. Fight me in the comments if you disagree. But you can't fight if you don't have some good Dooney quality leather and a Coach bag. I'm just saying. If you're gonna pick a side, make sure that it's based on personal experience and research. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm just going through now to see if I see like the red highlight or the initials for my channel so that I don't miss any comments, because I'm going to let you go here very shortly. I'm just scrolling. That red is absolutely gorgeous. This leather, do not be mistaken by the pictures that you see. Don't be swayed by the high-powered lights in the QVC studio. This leather is amazing, and if you like the look of Saffiano, you will not be disappointed with the woven. You just won't. It is comparable to Saffiano. Let's see. I don't think there were a lot, which is fine. That means y'all have answered each other's questions and you didn't have to wait on me to chime back in. The color of the bag that I showed tonight from in the Camden is strawberry. It is a red color, like a deep red with some light red, pinky-ish. Yeah, I said it. No, that's not pink. That's not pink. It's not pink. It's red, and it's dark red and light red. It's like Corvette red and what other red is that? Think about a strawberry. It's definitely red, but it is not. It's a lighter red. It's pretty. I love it. I love it. Let me see what else we got going on in here. This bag, I think it's on both Dooney and ILD. I also do believe I've seen it on Dillard's. And Dillard's and, oh, what was the other site? I'm drawing a blank now. But there were Belk. I think Belk has it. Ba, 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 ba. The lining on all of the other bags, aside from the dark coach, I prefer the lining on any of the other bags compared to this one. I'm just not a fan of this lining. And I think, Anj, you will not be disappointed in this one. This, I think, uh, rivals your red large market tote, except you're gonna get a more substantial piece of leather. You're gonna get the feet on the bottom, which I don't believe your large market tote had, and the outside pocket, because I don't think the market tote had outside pockets. Let me just share. I did purchase a market tote, purchased it from Belk. They were having a doorbuster sale. I shared this with Rosalind Ellis earlier today, and I think I've shared it with VPW underscore Leo 21 and DJ King. And I'll send Carmen Hawkins to the Enabler Corner because it was her market tote that actually had me on the hunt for it. Ultimately, the bag was a little bit smaller than I really was looking for. I really wanted the large size that Anj has, but I was willing, because I could get my bag organizer in it, I was willing to go with the smaller size. Ordered it from Belk and was looking for the box, and their tracking information, everything showed that the box had been delivered. I didn't have it. Got up one Saturday morning, this is probably 4 or 5 weeks ago now, finally made my way through the mountain of boxes, and there it was in a little box. They literally, just think about this as the box and this being the bag. Instead of putting, and this is probably not even long enough, but instead of putting the bag in the box so that there was room to spare, right? Because the box was too small, they took and stuffed it in the box like this. And it wasn't the right fit because the bag was squished. And when I pulled it out, I said, oh no. Mm-mm. Good shoulder drop, lightweight, but I was like, I am not going to think about the trauma that this bag endured to get in this box and to get to me. I'm just not gonna. I don't care how good the price is. I don't care how great the color was, how easy my bag organizer fit in there. I just decided I'm not gonna think about that every single time I carry the bag. So I packed it up and I took it back. No video to come because I was just that irritated that when I got the box, I was like, there is no way my bag is in this little box. And I knew I had seen Carmen's bag and I knew that it had some size on it. It wasn't this size, but I knew that it was bigger than that box. And sure enough, it was. They had almost folded it in half on its corner and stuffed it in the bag, in the box, in the dust bag. It made a quick exit. It exited as quickly as DJ King exited the Tabby Hobo, because y'all never even saw that one on her channel. That market tote was that way for me for different reasons. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments. I think that I have gone through. I don't think that there's anything else pending out here. I don't see my initials, so it means that you all have enjoyed your conversation. And I hope that you have seen the detail that helps you to decide. Mod shots, Uh-oh. Did she just ask for mod shots? I see you, Rosalind and Lucinda. All right, I guess I'll get my butt up and hopefully not knock over my whole setup. Okay. Um. Mm, mm. All right, y'all. All right, but first, what I'm gonna do, from a comparison standpoint, I'm gonna show. Okay. All right. All right. Let me kind of get them lined up. All right. So. All right. Y'all know I'm vertically challenged. I'm only 5'5". So. And that's the. All right. I don't know if those are any good because, as you can tell, there is not a lot of distance behind me and the window. So this is about as good as it's going to get. I'm sorry. I hope these are helpful. I hope. Shoulder drop. It's actually, it feels a little bit better with the leisure. But either way, y'all know I don't like stuff in my arm. Neither of them are in my armpit. Okay. Ingrid, you just haven't found the right tote. That's my argument. All right, what else do we want to see? All right. I hate the shoulder drop on this. And it's not in my armpit, but it is close. Definite better shoulder drop here. This one, of course, is stuffed. I've taken all the stuffing out of the woven. Y'all, I realize that the older I get, standing on my tiptoes, that don't go over too well, especially when you're in strappy sandals. So here we go. But if you see both of them, y'all know I don't have any shoulder real estate to start with. So there are the straps. And this one does. It hangs a little bit more comfortable on this side. It's hitting right at my hip. Right at my hip. This one is at my hip as well, but it's a little more, it's a little closer to the waist where this one truly is like hitting in my hip area. And then we've got oh, y'all look, I wish y'all, do you see how smushy this is? Like never carried this squishy and soft, amazing right out of the packaging. Like amazing. But you can't, it's not gonna pass the elbow test. It's you gotta do a little maneuvering with Russell. That's why if this were made in Florentine, I would probably have a hard time reaching for Russell. And for a long time, Russell has been my jam, but the shoulder drop has been the issue. But size-wise, pocket on the outside, pocket against your body. I guess it just depends on what kind of security you're looking for. A little bit shorter, hangs a little bit longer. Okay. Couple more. We're getting there. This one does sit up a little high. It's not all the way in my armpit, but it's pretty doggone close. Y'all, I just don't have any shoulders. It's not. This one comes down to my wrist with my arm down to the side. And that one is above my watch band, just so you can kind of get a feel for the distance difference between. See, that one's right at my wrist. And that one sits above my watch band. Yeah, I'm purse happy too. It is cutting it close. It is definitely shorter and doesn't quite pass the elbow test effortlessly. And I think I've got 2 more. It's like a piece of notebook paper. Anyway, I know I need to stuff her. And that's why when the market tote came all squished up in that belt box, it had to go back. I was just like, no. All right, so this one is the same. It's above my watch, so doesn't hang quite as long. Good. It's got a good shoulder drop. It sits up higher than this one, but it does. I can, this number right here, like when you're at the store and you don't want to take your whole bag off, you can do that with this. It's impossible to do with Russell. It's difficult with both Russells, the steel blue or the retro. You can do it with the Leisure, the Greta. You can do it with the MCM. You can do it with the Central Tote and the Camden. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This number right here, when you don't want to take your bag off, but you need to be able to get in, you can do that here with no problem. Same here. If I had it unzipped, you can absolutely, look at that, all on the shoulder, and you can get all in this baby. And never have to take it off. Right here can get in. This is one of the phones. In and out phones with no problem. Some beauty related stuff. The socks I showed you earlier. Stuff you wouldn't have in there, but I just, little Dooney wristlet. It's in there. Let me get the tag. So, I mean, it's not a baby pocket. It's not a baby pocket. I got a bunch of random stuff you wouldn't necessarily have, but if you're using it as a mom bag, you definitely can get a lot of things in there. Dooney medium wristlet, the pair of socks I showed y'all earlier today. iPhone. I'm team Android though for personal. This one's for work. And then a full size beauty product. Double zip wallet. Let me just see from an accessory standpoint if it will fit in here. Get the wristlet down. Fits with no issues. If you were trying, I don't have, my accessories are not close, they're in the other room, so I'm just gonna reach for what I have, which is just about it. So that double zip one goes in there with no problem. I know I still have one more back comparison to show you. It fills it in, but I could still, even with that in there, I can still get my phone. And look, y'all know how sometimes when you put stuff in a pocket, like on Saffiano, like on Florentine, you can see the outline of everything that's in that pocket. You cannot see that with this bag because this is good structured leather, the size of the pocket, and then the texture takes away from any of those indentions and things that you might see from the silhouette of things that you have in the pocket. And just so that you know, the cell phone is actually in the front of the pocket. So if you were going to see it, I'd like to think that you would, that you'd see the outline of it. Let me see if I can get this in there as well. Tags, and I'm trying to keep anything from getting caught in my zipper. Almost. And that pocket, I promise you, is packed out right now. It's got 2 wallets in it and a phone. Phone. Medium Dooney wristlet. And a double zip wallet from Coach, which is a full size wallet. So for those of you that have your other brand totes that don't have any kind of security, no kind of organization, I'm going to challenge the price tag on you, challenge you on the coated cotton versus the coated leather. Big difference. And I know many of you are now picking these up. It goes in there with no problem. Gets lost. It gets, can you even see it in there? It falls down in there. So I could get that one in there. This one, not that you need all of these. I'm just saying. And you wouldn't need a third one, but you could still get your phone in there with no problems. You could still get an ink pen in here. You could get a lipstick or a lip gloss down in there. If you need it like a small, these are essential oils for my little burner. But let's just say you had like contact solution or like a little small bottle of like, I don't know, like Tylenol or Motrin or something. You could still get that in there. What else? Ink pen and a highlighter. You can get that in there. You need your little Dooney mirror. You remember those? Little Dooney mirror. Oh, come on, zipper. Not the zipper on the Dooney, the zipper on the double wallet. Bam! That's a big pocket. I take back what I said about the pocket. It's a big pocket because it's holding stuff it wouldn't ever need to hold. Let's see. And again, that pocket, to your point, who was that? I think it was Vader that just made the comment. It flashed up really quick and I'm trying to, you cannot see any indentions in this leather from that pocket being full. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do one better for you. Because it's empty on the inside, so just to test it, let's put the stuffing back in her. Probably should have tried to put the stuff in here the right way. I would have put my bag organizer in here, but it's currently in the bag I'm using. So I'm just going to put all the stuff in back in. Let's see if it makes a difference. Because y'all know I can pack the inside of a bag. I didn't say it was neat like Phenomenal Personality would do it, but I can load a bag down. So let's get this as full and see what it does with the pocket. See if it makes a difference. Let me try to keep the paper out of the zipper. Alright, so you can see a little bit of it. Maybe it's just me. I think I can see a little bit of it, but it doesn't look to me nearly as bad as a pocket that doesn't have you know, the texture dimensions. You can see a little bit like right in here where it's puckered, which is where those pins are. Let's see. Hold, please. That's a little bit better. But that pocket, in the pocket, regular big ink pen, a big bright liner highlighter. Pretend this is a pill bottle. Let me put my oils up before I spill and get that everywhere. You've got a mirror, phone, a top zip wallet, and a double zip wallet. It's gonna be hard to beat that pocket. It's gonna be hard. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. We were playing with flimsy. All right. So here we go. She's stuffed now, right? So you might have a little bit better feel for her. This one does sit a little bit lower. Listen. Couple things I have learned. Oh, I still got one more bag to show. So let me hold off on my closing. Let's do this one because I know a lot of people have Dover. Now, this one, of course, fresh out the package. This one, you're welcome, says this one is broken in a little bit more. So it is going to soften a little bit. It's not going to puddle, but it is going to soften a little bit. It will hold its structure, but this one has been well loved. It's definitely not as soft as the Saffiano or the Napa leather from MCM, but it is not as structured right now as it was when I first got it. Strap drop. This one is adjustable, of course, so if you wanted to shorten this one a little or even lengthen it, you do have 2 other options on the strap for a total of 3 if you have Dover. But this one is starting to cave now, and y'all know I have a video of my worst Dooney purchase ever. It was a bag out of the Riley Roxy collection, North-South. And when it started puckering on the sides, it just gave way from a structure standpoint. This one is less north-south. And even though it doesn't, it's softened, but it's not caving in on itself the way the Roxy leather. I hope that clarifies, right? Because I did not like that about this one. That one. This one, it has softened, but it is not caving in the way the other one did. All right, so some of you may have this style bag in the Ducks or the Robertson collection if you're trying to figure out where you may have this bag in your collection. Many people bought it when ILD had that amazing sale on the Robertson collection, and I think they ultimately changed the name to Duck or something, but that's where many of you may have this style bag in your collection. Ooh, I love. All right, let me stop so y'all can see. All right, I shaved my armpits and everything. I'm glad I did because y'all looking right under my arm. All right, and here we go again. And shoulder straps. For me, that whole crisscross thing, it doesn't work. I don't have anything extra for it to hold on to anyway. I just love them. All right, just so that you can see that detailing on them again. This one's going to soften up a little too. I promise to try to remember to come back and do an update after carrying it so that you can see what the wear is like on this one. But this one, I may dissect it and take the center zip out so that I can get some more use out of it. See the difference in the size of the woven pattern? I just want to, kind of let you see that again. This is a previous collection. Actually, I think there's a baseball themed tote on ILD. I think it's the Pirates in the Dover. Now I can't remember whether it's Saffiano or woven. I want to say that it's woven, but I could have that wrong. But again, so that you can see the difference in the colors and the pattern, the highs and lows. So, I also got the putty, and I'm about to sit on a bag, that wouldn't be good. But I've got to figure out, I want to do some color comparisons when I do the putty to show you the differences in the highs and lows and some of the other colored bags that I have. So I'm going to save that one for another time. Right now, I think ILD only has 2 colors available. It may be the same on Dooney. I think there are more color options in the smaller size than the large. So those of you that are small bag carriers, you may still be in luck if it is something that you are interested in. If you are a fan of Saffiano, I would say take a chance. It is definitely a collector's item in that not every year are you going to get a woven piece. Not every year is the woven pattern going to be the same. And compared again to last year, it is, to me, they're like the woven from last year and the woven from this year, there is absolutely no comparison. No comparison between them. It will be a workhorse going into rainy season, snowy season, summer season. It does not matter. That woven is seasonless. I think that's, I'm probably not saying that right, but anyway, in and out of season, you don't have to worry about putting it away at Labor Day because it's your straw summer bag. You don't have to worry about that because it doesn't look that way. I hope that I have given you enough mod shots and comparisons and up close views that you can kind of go back and forth and make a decision. I do not think you will be disappointed. But if you are not a fan of Saffiano, skip it. If you are a person that wished that there was just a little bit more to Saffiano, then this may be the way to try something that's a little bit more elevated. The color saturation is amazing. It is not heavy like Florentine, but it's definitely heavier than the leathers that I've shown you from Coach. The outside pocket is going to allow you to get a lot of stuff in there, random and otherwise. Don't let that pocket fool you. After playing around with the pocket with all of you this evening, I'm even more thankful that the pocket is on the outside as opposed to on the back so that I can actually get into all of my stuff. I love the fact that it has feet on it so that it is protected and it's structured and it's going to stand. And I love that smooth leather across the bottom. It just adds a little bit more polish to it. It's a bag that you can dress up or dress down. You can use it for work. You can use it for dinner. You can use it as a work bag, as a beach bag, as a mommy bag, as an amazing diaper bag. Because you know we're coming up on baby days. Those New Year babies are going to be making their appearances in September. So it would make for a great mommy bag that is going to last long beyond the time that mom needs a baby bag. The shoulder drop on it is good. For me, shoulder drop, got to clear the elbow test. And I love being able to not have my bag off of my body, but I'm able to get into the pocket with no issues. And I am also able to get into the interior without having to take it off my body. The colors again, strawberry, you've had an opportunity to look at it tonight. I also picked up putty. Midnight I have gone back and forth on just because me and blue, I've blue overload, but if you go and watch the presentation that Ashley Bellman did, I promise you the black, the chocolate, the blue, the putty, the strawberry, you will fall in love. If you are looking for something that is more, in my opinion, a little more neutral, a little more summer, like if you're looking for the look and feel of a straw bag, but you want the leather, you don't want the prickliness, you don't want it nipping at your clothes, then take a look at the natural or camel color. It's pretty, but for me, that would just be like a spring summer bag, and then I would feel compelled to put it away. The other thing for me is where this color makes the texture, it makes the bag look textured. The lighter color one, for some reason for me, looked more like straw. So if that's the look that you're going for, then absolutely go for the lighter colored bag if you're looking for a summer straw-like feel bag. Or If when you look at it, you don't see that woven pattern, do you, right? Get the one that you like and that is going to go, be the best addition to your collection. Y'all know me and Red, we play well together. So, listen, thank you so much for hanging out. I know it's a Saturday night. I know that we were together for nearly an hour earlier today. I appreciate all of the support. Please make sure that you hit the thumbs up before you head out. If you have not watched my very short video from Friday that seemed to swat at a hornet's nest, please make sure that you do that. Take time to read the comments, like, respond. That's what that's there for. If you are interested in hearing my more in-depth thoughts, the pleading of my case for my opinion on where the blame lies for damaged boxes, please check out the Morning Tribe Time or Part 1 of Interwoven Saturday. Share this video. Come back. We'll all be hanging out on Friday evening at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central on Mrs. Q's channel. I will be back tomorrow for a BYOB, Feed Your Addiction. That's right. Tomorrow we're going to talk about buy your own bag. So come back with a drink in hand, with your devices. I'm going to keep my little tape measure here. I'm going to try to dig out a few different bags so that we can do some comparisons for tomorrow. But that's it. Listen, I know that this can be risky for some people. You hear woven, you probably have visions of last year's woven, that picnic basket situation with the smooth beacon leather over the top like a dinner napkin. It just was not, this is different. The woven pattern is different. The color options are far greater this year than they were last year. And the smooth leather is appropriately placed in the straps and on the base of the bag to provide structure, corner protection, and a bit of polish to the bag. It is a chance worth taking. I would just urge you to make sure that you do your research, watch a few more videos, check out Ashley Bellman's presentation. I know I can't believe I have said her name that many times without wincing, but check out Ashley's presentations of this bag on YouTube on the QVC channel. Check the bag sizes that are more comfortable for you. Make sure that if you are pulling the trigger, that you are pulling the trigger on the size that is closest to the bags that are in your comfort zone. And then take the plunge and you can thank me later because it is absolutely stunning. Thank you so very much for watching. Until tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Central, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction.